We start the movie with Emily being assaulted by her husband. The man is furious and searches for the car keys. Even with Emily saying she doesn't know where they are, he throws her away, and the couple's daughter soon arrives. The girl's father asks why she came home so early and reveals that she was expelled. This further irritates the man, and her mother quickly tells her to go to her room. He accuses Emily of putting their daughter against him, but she retorts that he did that himself. Enraged, the man quickly goes after the daughter, who manages to lock herself in the room. He bangs on the door and demands an explanation for their daughter's expulsion from school. She refuses to open, but he continues to pound on the door. At that moment, Emily approaches from behind him and manages to hit him with a frying pan, which soon falls to the ground. Emily calls for her daughter, Eden, and tells her that they need to escape that house. They quickly grab all the necessary things to leave. When Eden walks down the hallway, she discovers that her father is no longer there. She tries to warn her mother, but the man quickly appears, and Emily strikes him in the groin, allowing them to escape the house and run to the car. They manage to flee from the aggressive man and continue driving down the road. They stop so Emily can communicate with her father and inform him about her situation. She also tells him that they will arrive at his house soon. She hangs up the phone and goes to find her daughter, who is in the bathroom. The girl asks what they will do, and Emily reveals that they will return to her grandfather's house. Eden says she is tired of that life, and that it is not fair. Emily tells her daughter not to blame her, as she has done everything to give her the best, but that she can no longer stand that situation. Eden asks why they don't just have him arrested, and says she will be their witness. Emily refuses because she knows they will only arrest him for an hour, and that he will soon come after them and do something much worse. When they leave the bathroom, they accidentally bump into a man who scares them. He apologizes for that and, in a suspicious manner, wishes them a good day. He also asks where they are going. They find this strange and do not respond. He explains that he asked because the old road is 9 hours away, but if they take the Bonehill Road, they will arrive faster. He introduces himself as Cohen and wishes them a safe trip, as it will soon get dark. During the trip, Eden complains that the car has no radio signal. Emily asks her to be calm, as they will soon be in Castle Rock. Seizing the moment, Eden apologizes to her mother and says she was right about leaving that place, and that she doesn't blame her for anything wrong in her life, explaining that she is scared because she doesn't know if they will go back there again. Emily reassures her daughter and tells her that soon she will see her friends again. Eden asks how all this happened, and her mother reveals that her husband promised he would change, but he didn't. She also discloses that she is pregnant and can't let her child be born near that monster. Eden doesn't know what to say about it, and her mother tells her to rest since the road will be long. While traveling down the road, something monstrous appears in the middle of the lane, causing them to stop. They think it could be a large animal and consider getting out to check if it is okay, but Emily says the animal could attack them. Eden insists that they have to check, as the animal could be suffering for hours. Her mother agrees to get out to investigate and tells Eden to stay in the car. She explains that if anything happens, her daughter should use the car horn to scare off the animal. Emily searches for the animal using her phone to illuminate the area, but soon hears a growl. Scared, she quickly returns to the car and warns her daughter that there is something outside. She also explains that she didn't find any blood, meaning the animal should be fine. Emily gets angry, as they will now be delayed. At that moment, something approaches the car and sinks its claws into the tire, frightening both of them, who soon duck down thinking it's an animal attack. Emily steps on the gas and moves away from that spot, but the tire bursts, causing them to crash into a tree. Emily blacks out for a brief moment, but with the noise of the horn, she soon wakes up. Checking her bag, she realizes she forgot the charger and that there is only a little battery left to make a call. She calls her father and tries to explain the situation, but the battery soon dies. Eden begins to panic over the situation again, and her mother has to calm her down. Emily remembers that Eden's father kept a spare charger in the trunk. Her daughter, worried about her mother, thinks it is a terrible idea based on what happened before and asks her not to go out. Emily explains that it's the only way and asks them to do the same strategy as before. Eden stays in the car while she goes to get the charger, and if anything appears, she should honk the horn. Her daughter, left with no options, agrees. Emily gets out of the car and goes to the trunk. She looks for the charger, but doesn't have time to search too much as she hears noise coming from the woods again and gets scared when Eden bangs on the windows asking her to come back. Emily asks for 2 minutes and grabs a few items, including the charger. As she prepares to return, she is startled by her daughter who came looking for her. She quickly tells Eden to go back to the car and, when she is coming back, discovers that the tire is not just flat, but scratched by something. She also finds a type of fur different from any animal. Inside the car, she tells Eden that the tire was simply devastated by something. The girl suggests changing the tire with the jack, but Emily explains that her father removed it from the trunk. The woman tries to start the car but cannot. Suddenly, a branch falls on the hood, startling them as they think it is the animal. Realizing it is just a branch, Emily laughs along with Eden. While illuminating the woods, Eden notices branches moving and something passing in front of her. She warns her mother but can't prove it, as the creature disappears into the darkness. Emily opens the window a bit, which Eden considers risky, but her mother insists it's just to observe better. The creature passes in front of the car again, too fast for them to see. Emily reassures her daughter and says it was just a deer, but Eden is not comfortable with that. Emily manages to use the charger, but at that moment something hits the car and knocks the phone back. When they turn around, they hear growls and see a huge paw on the back of the car. Eden wonders what it is, and her mother replies that it might not be a bear, as it is too fast. At that moment, the creature appears at Eden's side window, and she wonders what those monsters are, as more beasts begin to appear. With no options, the duo is forced to escape through the car's trunk, as the creature manages to open the door and invades the vehicle. Eden goes out first and manages to escape, but Emily gets scratched on the leg, but manages to flee with her daughter. The beasts merely watch the two leave and roar fiercely. They walk for some time and stop near an abandoned building. Eden asks what they will do, but Emily, desperate, only says they need to find help. Eden wants to take a break to catch her breath. However, the creatures are getting closer and they need to run. They reach some uninhabited sheds, and Emily tells her daughter to be quiet. She questions if Eden is also hearing that music, and the girl concentrates a bit and manages to hear it. However, they are not sure where the sound is coming from. Emily thinks it is straight ahead, and a beast suddenly appears, making them hurry and run. However, Emily is having difficulties as her leg is injured. Eden helps her mother, and together they follow the melody again. Soon, they reach a house that seems to be inhabited. Emily quickly knocks on the door asking for help, but she gets no response. Eden argues that they should break in since the monsters are coming, and with no options, they enter the house. The music continues playing, but no one appears at the location. They hear a woman's voice grunting behind the house and decide to investigate. Eventually, the duo finds 2 women injured and tied to chairs. Eden wants to get out of there, but her mother insists they need to help them and asks her to keep watch. Emily removes the cloth from one woman's mouth and says she will free her. However, the woman asks her to free her friend Tina first. The other woman's name is Susie, and she tells them not to worry about her as long as they escape and ask for help. But Emily insists on helping her, and when she does this, Cohen appears and uses a knife to take Eden hostage. He asks what they are doing there and questions what he will do with the 2. Emily tries to help her daughter, but Cohen says she is too close and orders Susie to tie her to the chair. Since Susie doesn't obey, he raises his voice and tells her to be quick. Susie obeys, and Cohen approaches, saying this is better, and comments that now the 2 can play peacefully. But Susie, tired of that madness, grabs the knife that the man was holding and quickly stabs him, declaring that his perverse game ends today. The man is not intimidated and asks what she will do. With his provocations, Susie, in a moment of fury, pierces Cohen's shoulder. However, this has no effect, and he quickly manages to overpower her and makes her drop the knife. He asks her to calm down as he does not want to kill her, but Susie can't take it anymore and tries to retaliate. The man, in a fit of rage, brutally attacks her in front of the other women who watch helplessly. Cohen begins to cry, holding Susie's body, and asks why she made him do that. He removes the woman's body, and we realize that the beasts have already arrived at the location. Emily mourns the loss of Tina's friend, but says they need to act because Cohen will return soon. Meanwhile, the man is with Eden, imitating her and crying, mocking the girl's situation. Cohen tells her to stop crying or he will give her real reasons to cry. He approaches Tina and asks if she was going to leave without saying goodbye, mentioning what Lucy would think of that. Emily questions who Lucy is, and he reveals that she was a great friend, but she gave him trouble and he had to deal with her. Tina, feeling threatened, apologizes to the man and claims she won't do it again. He tells her not to lie, as it will cost her life. Cohen orders Tina to clean herself up, and while she does that, he picks up his knife and drives it into the woman's hand. Mother and daughter are terrified by this, as they had just escaped one suffering and entered another. Cohen makes Tina promise that she will never betray him again. Later, while they are alone, Emily again asks them to do something and leave that crazy man's house. But Tina is shaken and says they will all die there. Emily responds that this is not going to happen and says that the chair is weak. The woman soon throws herself to the floor, and Eden gets worried because her mother is carrying a baby. While she tries to free herself, Cohen reappears in the kitchen, remembers the punishment for those who escape, and strikes the woman on the head with a piece of wood. Eden curses him, asking him to leave her mother alone. He reprimands her for talking like that and forces her to drink liquid soap. Cohen says he tries to please them with dinner and affection and receives betrayal in return. The women, knowing what the man is capable of, lament the situation and reveal they were scared. The man states that he holds no grudges and says it is time for dinner. He mentions having a perfect steak for everyone, but Tina knows that the meat is probably from Susie and tries to say she is vegan. However, remembering what Cohen is capable of, she decides to accept it. The beasts are still surrounding the house and roar fiercely. Cohen serves the meat and orders them to eat, claiming they will need energy for the next day. Emily asks if they will walk, but he just laughs and replies that it is a surprise, assuring that they will be happy they ate. When leaving, Emily and Eden insist that Tina tries the meat, fearing what will happen when he returns. Tina refuses and reveals that there is no steak in that house, causing both of them to vomit right after. Upstairs, we discover that Lucy is still lying in a bathtub, and the meat was hers. Cohen forces her to eat her own flesh, as he too will participate in what will happen the next day. He returns to the kitchen and sees Eden vomiting. He rubs the girl's face in the plate while her mother cries in front of the scene. Eden can't take the situation anymore and decides to fight back, but she is quickly restrained. Cohen grabs her in his arms, and Emily begs him to take her instead of her daughter. Cohen says they will all have opportunities and that he will soon come for them all. Cohen resumes threatening Tina for not having eaten and leaves the room. Desperate, she begs Tina for help, who, despite the pain, manages to pull the knife out of her own hand and rushes to free Emily. Hours later, Rhett, Emily's father, arrives at the accident site. He inspects his daughter's car but finds nothing and tries to call her cell phone. At that moment, he hears noises in the bushes and thinks it is Emily. Upon hearing growls, he runs back to the car. The beast appears at the window and scares him, but he manages to escape quickly. We discover that Eden is being forced by Cohen to cut pieces from a federal mail carrier, and Susie is dead beside them, sitting in an armchair as if she were still alive. Eden says they will miss the missing mail carrier and will send people to look for him. Cohen seems to not care about that and continues the work while Eden has to witness everything. While doing this, he reveals that he will disappear before anyone can look for him or find him. Emily and Tina slowly approach, and Eden notices the presence of the two. Her mother instructs her to keep doing what she's doing. Emily quickly jumps on the man and stabs him in the shoulder. He manages to break free and corners her against the wall, but Tina strikes him in the head, redirecting his attention to her. Emily seizes this opportunity, grabs a knife from the table, and stabs him in the stomach, and the man falls to the ground. They go upstairs and find Lucy in that terrible state. They quickly pull the woman from the bathtub and begin performing first aid. They finish and begin to slowly descend the stairs. But at that moment, it is revealed that Cohen is not dead, and he grabs Emily by the neck. He uses his knife to pin her to the wall, and Eden, knowing her mother can be hurt, quickly jumps on the man and starts biting his ear, but he manages to throw her off. Tina also tries to help, but is knocked down and dragged across the floor. The man begins to hammer her head and eat her eyes while all watch helplessly. Emily manages to free herself and ensures that he does not get back up, opening the door and throwing him outside, where he is brutally attacked and killed by the creatures. Even so, it is not enough for the beasts, who soon attempt to enter the house. The women run to barricade the entrances with objects from the house. Meanwhile, Emily's father reports the incident to the police from his car, warning that his daughter may be in danger. But the call begins to fail, and he cannot finish the communication. The beasts almost enter the house, and they use a table to try to close the gap. But Lucy is caught by one of the creatures. Emily's father arrives at the property just as she tries to save Lucy. The creature releases Lucy, and they notice someone honking outside. They go out and find Rhett, telling him to hurry inside the house, but another beast appears in front of them. Rhett kills one with an axe, and they quickly enter. Inside, he asks his granddaughter to find a plank to barricade the door. And in the kitchen, she sees Lucy very unwell and tries to help her. Eden leaves the woman and goes down to the basement to find something to block the door. As she walks, a beast sneaks up behind her and initiates a chase. She tries to go up the stairs but is grabbed by the leg, and her mother hears her screams. She tells her father that she is going to help her daughter. Emily quickly manages to rescue her and holds the door while her daughter takes the plank to her grandfather. Together, they nail the wood to the door while Emily tries to contain the beast in the basement. One of the creatures almost enters through the upstairs window, but the duo runs and uses a piece of furniture to barricade it. At that moment, they hear Emily's screams and run to help her, not realizing that the beast has knocked over the furniture and entered the house. When they reach Emily, the father realizes he cannot save her, and she asks him to take her daughter away and keep her safe. The beast emerges from the basement and drags Emily away, while Eden desperately cries for her mother. They go to Lucy to help her, but discover she is transforming, and other beasts appear. Grandfather and granddaughter decide to flee and exit the house as Lucy undergoes a painful transformation. The duo reaches the car, and Eden asks her grandfather to speed up. At that moment, Lucy jumps onto the hood. Rhett backs up and manages to escape from the werewolves. During the escape, Eden does not accept her mother's death, but the grandfather says that Emily managed to save both of them and that he is grateful for that. The film ends with Eden remembering the good moments she had with her mother.